Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be also a little bit different. Today, I'm going to be walking through sort of my personal website redesign, or at least like the start process for it. I'm starting with the design portion. I'm planning on rebuilding it with the digital shopfront CMS that I'm building, which obviously is going to take a while. So the building part won't happen for a while, but I did go ahead and design it. And I just want to walk through design and sort of my design process, especially as someone who really isn't. Design is like the harder part for me. Development, that's easy. Code, that's fine. Sort of the design and creation is a little bit more challenging for me. But I think I've got a system now that will help me get better at that. So we're just going to walk through that right here. I really love Rafael Tomal. I really hope I'm remembering that correctly. His design kit that he's created for Figma designs. I've used it for like the past couple of years, and it's just a great tool, a great starting place for design stuff with a lot of stuff. As you'll see here, makes sort of getting like that base part of the design really easy to get going. And it's really helped me create my own personal sort of design system, which I'll talk about in a different video. But one thing I really like is this like sort of one page where you can really just kind of explore different designs. I really use this research area a whole lot to just be able to save different designs that I like. So I search around. We used Pinterest a lot for sort of research and finding things that I like. It's pretty easy to sort of go down a wonderful rabbit hole for that. But then I sort of just kind of take those screenshots and drop them in here along with links. And sort of also write notes about what I like about each different thing, so that I can sort of incorporate those into the eventual design. And then another great thing from Design Kit is the design system, where you can place brand assets. I really like being able to set colors here and sort of see what the palette is going to look like. So I'll be able to set typography. So as you can tell with the colors, these are sort of my brand colors. I really just enjoy the blue. It's something I've had since like 2015. I took a graphic design for journalism course, and we had to create sort of a brand identity for ourselves, personal brand identity. And I went with blue, and I haven't looked back ever since. And then I am using basically Handkin Grotesque for all different fonts. And this makes it easy to set up the fonts, and then using sort of these styles over here to be able to use them throughout the rest of the design. Another great thing I like about it, Design Kit, is the UI elements. Just can make big changes up here, color changes here. And then can use these components throughout the rest of the design. So I can make the change here, and it applies the change everywhere else in the design. Going with these rounded buttons. And we'll get to designs here in a little bit, but obviously I'm going with a black background and white text throughout. Pretty straightforward. And then just a few miscellaneous elements. I didn't really change any of these. And then we can start to get into the real bones of the design, going through some of these modules or elements, as you might call it, depending on your terminology. Going through, I've created different variations for like a single portfolio, like in an archive kind of thing. Same for photo galleries. Some background gradients, options, solid options, sort of a frosted background kind of option, which you'll see works better once we get to the actual designs later on. Doing the same thing for features, blog posts, blog quotes, all of that good stuff. And then you really start to get in the fun stuff once you get to the sections. These are like, if you use WordPress, these are like, those patterns, like features patterns, services patterns, hero images, those sorts of things. It's like this is header, I want the header to look, with the footer, some of the different hero sections. Some of the features sections, and these can each have different options for like the background for each feature. FAQs, portfolios, call to actions, all that sorts of fun business. And some other things, some more hero sections over here that I can use. And then once I have these all built out, I really start to get in the fun part where you start to create the wireframes for each of the different pages. So this is sort of the wireframe for the homepage, hero section, sort of an intro, services, portfolio, blog, call out to the YouTube channel. This will be more photography section, and then sort of a life blog section with call to action down at the bottom. And then this would be like what the default page would look like. It's what my about page is going to look like. Standard up here, and then sort of portfolio, bit of a resume and skills section. Contact page is pretty standard. Services page. So each section would have its own, or each service would have its own section, like so. And then sort of build it, and then over here just sort of building out what each of those services pages would look like. And then portfolio, photo galleries, and then blog post. And really, one of the things I love, and this will be something I talk about once I really go over the design system that I've built for myself. But what I really love is like once I get done with these sections, the rest of it, the wireframes, becomes so much easier to do. And finally, we'll just go to the mockups. Just again, pretty simple. I like this system. Just work with the wireframes. Don't worry about content right away. Instead, just kind of like get the layout, and then you can sort of add in your content. And I actually surprised myself with how much I like these designs. It's kind of hard to be a bit patient because I need to build out digital shopfront first before I can build this out. So that's kind of like I'm itching and ready to go to build this part out, but I need to do other stuff first. But I'm hoping that this is sort of the start in a process of getting better with design and trying new things and really seeing what I can do with it. And of course, I will be, once I get to the part where I can build this out, I will definitely be building this out in public. You'll definitely see videos here on YouTube. I'll definitely be posting it on social media. So if you want to stay updated with this design, my work on digital shopfront, other web design and web development topics, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the ring the bell for notifications. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.